Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. I am going to be going through with you what players I think have futures at Manchester United. Also, going to give you the best players under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era so far. And also, a bit later on in this video, I'm going to delve into a bit more transfer news. So yeah, there's lots to negotiate about. So the players who I think have futures at Manchester United, I'm going to go through it now. So one player I think that has a future at Manchester United is Mason Greenwood. Now, I think Mason Greenwood's enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. And I think, this is his first full season, is it, in the senior squad. I think Mason Greenwood's got 12 or 13 goals this season for Manchester United in all competitions. Now, he seldom starts in the Premier League, does Mason Greenwood. He's started a couple of times in the Premier League this season, but he tends to start more in, the Europa League games and that and the Cup games. But I expect Mason Greenwood to start more games in the Premier League going on into next season. He can play as a number 9 and he can also play on the right hand side. He's Greenwood, what is he, 18 or is he 19 years of age? Made his full debut for the football club in the 2-0 defeat to Cardiff at the end of last season. But yeah, I think Mason Greenwood can definitely succeed as a Manchester United player. I think in the next year, maybe two, he will emulate to Rashford's level. Probably more than likely will end up overtaking Marcus Rashford, will Mason Greenwood. But yes, I think he's definitely a future player for Manchester United. I also do believe that Brandon Williams, he's another future player for Manchester United. Got to say, I've been very, very impressed with Brandon Williams this season. Very, very impressed with Brandon Williams. This is his first season in the senior squad. He's still inexperienced at the moment, is Brandon Williams. He's still inexperienced. I think he's a backup to Luke Shaw because I think, Luke Shaw does remain our first choice left back because Luke Shaw is more experienced, obviously, than Brandon Williams. But definitely, Brandon Williams is the future for Manchester United. Also do believe that Angel Gomez has got a future with the football club. Now, obviously, we're hoping, that we can convince Angel Gomez to sign a new contract with Manchester United. I haven't read reports recently on Angel Gomez, but the last time I read about the story on Angel Gomez, it said we'd offered him a new contract worth around £30,000 a week, and I think it said we'd offered him a 2-year deal with an option of a 3rd year. He has seldom played under Ole Gunnar Solsjaer this season as Angel Gomez, but the main explanation for that is because there's been a lot of uncertainty over his future. Don't forget, it said a while back that Chelsea had expressed their interest in Angel Gomez. Don't forget, up until this point, Angel Gomez has spent the entirety of his career with the club. He's been a United player since the age of 8. I think he's been in our senior squad, hasn't he, since 2016, 2017. Became the youngest player to ever represent Man United since Duncan Edwards back in the 1950s. And I think he became the first player to make a Premier League appearance to be born in the 2000s, yeah. So I think, we'll probably end up getting Angel Gomez a new contract. And when he does sign a new contract, that's when, he will get, more opportunities at Manchester United. But I did say, when's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to be convinced, to give Angel Gomez more opportunities? James Garner, I think he's a future player for Manchester United as well. I think a lot of Manchester United fans want to see him get more opportunities next season because he's seldom played this season. I think he's only played a couple of times. I think he's played a couple of he's played a couple of Europa League games, but prior to that he hasn't really played much. Diego Dalot, he hasn't really played much this season, has he? Because he's had a couple of injuries as Diego Dalot. Don't forget, he's been at Manchester United now, is it nearly 2 years? Because We got him in the summer of 2018 under Jose Mourinho. We got him from Porto, was it for around £20 million if I'm right. Diego Dalot is a backup to Wan-Bissaka. So yeah, I'd still say he's a future player for Manchester United. Don't forget towards the back end of last season, was it? He was playing quite a few times on the right wing, wasn't he? But he is predominantly a right back, is Diego Dalot. Chong, you know, do you think he's the future for Manchester United? Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago now, Chon signed a new contract with the football club. He signed a 2-year contract, was it, with an option of a further year. Chon's appearances have been limited. He hasn't played that much. Chong, made his competitive debut for the football club in the 2-0 win against Reading in the FA Cup last season, was it? But his appearances, have definitely been limited. So we'll hope to see, that he can get more chances going on into next season. But yeah, I also can say that I think Dean Henderson has, got a future with Manchester United. Dean Henderson, of course, as you all know, at the moment is out on loan with Sheffield United. And I think, Manchester United made the right decision by putting Dean Henderson out on loan because obviously it's gained him more experience. And I said, we needed to put him out on loan. But yeah, he's done very, very well at Sheffield United. He is expected to come back to Manchester United after his loan spell with Sheffield. And obviously, there was rumours before earlier on this season saying that Dean Henderson, when he comes back, could become our number one goalkeeper. I think some United fans would like to see him become our number one goalkeeper, but maybe, David De Gea will remain our number one goalkeeper next season. If that was to happen, then maybe, Dean Henderson could be moved on permanently. And, maybe then he doesn't have a future at Manchester United. But De Gea, has been a liability at least for the last year and a half or so. De Gea is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world overall. De Gea is now into his 9th season at Manchester United and he's enjoyed 8 years here. But I've still got to admire him because I think he's enjoyed a good career. And I still think David De Gea has had a good 6.5 years out of the 8 years he has been at the football club. I don't think David De Gea will leave when the transfer window reopens. I don't think he'll leave. But I think, if David De Gea does leave the club, I think, he will make a return back to Spain because David De Gea began his career in Spain with Atletico Madrid, don't forget. We got him under the Alex Ferguson era. Back in 2015, Real Madrid came very, very close to getting him, but due to fax machine, the deal never materialised, so he remained at Manchester United, did David De Gea. Obviously, if we were to sell him, I still believe we could get maybe in the 60-odd or 70-odd million pound range for him. We paid around, was it £17 million for him from Atletico Madrid. Of course, David De Gea has won everything here domestically. He's won the club's player of the year 4 times out of the past 6 years, reflecting on his good run of performances. But maybe, De Gea will remain our number one goalkeeper. But I'd like, to see Dean Henderson come back to Manchester United. So honestly, I'd say he's got a future with the club. Sergio Romero, obviously he's our second choice goalkeeper. He tends to, start in the cup games. But I think Romero is a very, very good goalkeeper in that. And there's a few, we've got quite a few other young players. So there's a lot of young players in the team. I think we've had the youngest squad in the Premier League this season. Yes, we have. So I think, these young players, that have definitely got futures at Manchester United. Foster Mensah, do you think he's got a future at Manchester United? Don't forget, recently we triggered a 1-year extension on Foster Mensah's contract. So we know he's going to be staying at Manchester United now at least for another year. Foster Mensah's going to find game time very difficult like in the Premier League. His versatility is very, very good. He's I can't remember his predominant position, but I know he can play as a centre half, he can play as a full-back, and he can also play as a holding midfielder. Tuanzebe, I'd say he's got a future as well with Manchester United. Alex Tuanzebe, because I thought he did well earlier on in the season before he got injured. So yeah, there is players at the football club that do have a future at Manchester United. So that is the latest on that. I am going to go through with you now our best players under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. So I think, to be quite honest with you, a lot of players have improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I've got to definitely say that Luke Shaw's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era as Luke Shaw. Obviously, Luke Shaw was out with injury for like 2 months earlier on in the season, or was it 3 months? But since he's come back from that injury, he's been absolutely fantastic. It doesn't, mate. I've got element of concerns about him. He's very, very injury prone. He's Luke Shaw, and he's endured some very difficult times as a Man United player, especially under the Jose Mourinho era. But I still think he's a very, very good fullback is Luke Shaw. I think this is now his 6th season with Manchester United. We paid around £30 million for him from Southampton. But yeah, it's good that we've been getting the best out of Luke Shaw. I've got to say as well, Anthony Martial, I think he's done very, very well. I think he's done very, very well. Martial's also another player that endured a very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. And he's endured some difficult spells as a Man United player. I've got to say, before the football season got suspended, I thought Martial, was very, very good. He'd rejuvenated himself, and Martial's on like 15 or is it 16 goals this season for the football club. I think the only thing we need to do with Martial is find him a permanent position. He does predominantly play out wide on the left, does Martial, but this season he's been operating in that number 9 role. So should he remain in the number 9, or should we put him back on the left-hand side? Martial now is into his 5th season at the football club. He has over 60-odd goals in just over 200-odd appearances. I think one of the best seasons Anthony Martial endured was his debut season, when we recommended him in under Louis van Gaal. We paid 36 million for Martial, potentially rising up to 58 million based on goals and achievements. And he's now 24, and we got him as a 19-year-old. But a lot of aspects of his game have improved. Got to say as well, Rashford, he's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era as Rashford. A lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. I think he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he got injured. Marcus Rashford has been out with a back injury. He's been out with this back injury, since our win against Wolves in the FA Cup, because that's when, he sustained his injury, in the win against Wolves. And Solskjaer made the wrong decision by playing Marcus Rashford in that game, because he hadn't played him in that game, then Marcus Rashford's injury wouldn't have occurred. Now, of course, Rashford can play in the number 9, and he can also play out wide. I think actually, Solskjaer prefers Rashford out wide, to be quite honest with you. He prefers him, out wide, to be quite honest with you. But, up until this point, Rashford has spent the entirety of his career with the club. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then, he's become an integral part of our team. He's endured some difficult spells as a Man United player. But yeah, definitely, he's the long-term future for Manchester United, is Marcus Rashford. I've also got to say as well, I think Fred, has really, really improved since, Solskjaer came in. And the good thing is that, Solskjaer has given Fred his opportunities, because, revert back to the Jose Mourinho era, Fred never really got his opportunities in that. I've also thought Fred was an exceptional player at Shakhtar Donetsk. But I think, he's done really, really well this season. Manchester United did pay £50 million for Fred back under the Jose Mourinho era. But I've got to say, I think he's done well alongside Scott McTominay in our midfield. I think they've complemented each other fantastically well. McTominay's also, done very, very well under Solskjaer. Don't forget, McTominay was injured earlier on in the season. Before he got injured, he did well, and I think since he's come back from injury, he's also done very, very well as McTominay. Do you think McTominay is a long-term future for Manchester United? Do you think he's long-term future for Manchester United? But yeah, he's done very, very well. I've also got to give Nemanja Matic a lot of credit, because I think he's really, really improved. Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, we triggered that 1-year extension on Matic's contract. And the main explanation we did that was reflecting on his good run of performances. Matic is actually, back up to Fred and McTominay, so he ain't one of our first choice midfielders, but he's done really, really well. And Matic is this his third season with the football club? We paid £40 million to him from Chelsea back in 2017. Again, we got him under the Jose Mourinho era. I've criticised him in the past because he's very, very slow and he's easily predictable. But I think, recently, Matic has done really, really well. So I've got to give him a lot of credit. I also do believe that, Lindelof, he's really, really improved. He's now into his third season at Manchester United. Lindelof, of course, we paid £30 million in from Benfica. Again, got him under the Jose Mourinho era. Lindelof didn't really settle in his first season, struggled for that consistency. But, I think last season and this season, a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. Lindelof's gone really, really well alongside Maguire in our back line. Also, too, I think, Maguire's done very, very well for us since his arrival from Leicester last summer. Don't forget, we paid £80 million for Harry Maguire. He's the second most expensive signing at the club, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world. I think his composure is good. He shows that ability to play out from the back. And I think Man United made the right decision by giving Harry Maguire the captaincy on a permanent basis. We're giving the captaincy, reflecting on Ashley Young's departure earlier on this year. But I actually, do believe all the players that Solsjaker has signed, have obviously, done really, really well. I think, James has done very, very well. We paid £15 million to him from Swansea. Enjoyed a very, very good start to his Man United career. What wasn't so good in the last couple of months and that. Obviously, before the season got suspended, he wasn't so good, was he, in the last couple of months, But I think, Solskjaer's been overplaying him. Daniel James has played 30-odd games this season. Is it for Man United? But yeah, he's done well. Bissaka's done really, really well. Paid £45 million for him, was it, from Crystal Palace. Very, very good right back. His defensive contributions always been very, very good. But before the season got suspended, we started to see the attacking side of his game. So that was a positive. Definitely Bruno Fernandes. Definitely the best player we've recruited in since the Alex Ferguson era. We obviously paid around 65 million for Bruno Fernandes, with add-ons included. But you've got to say, Bruno Fernandes has made a difference in the team. He's very instrumental. His decision-making is very, very good. And don't forget, Bruno Fernandes won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes recently revealed what convinced him to sign for Manchester United, and it was reflecting on the attitude of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Bruno Fernandes, must have a lot of faith in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he's been absolutely fantastic for us so far. I think Bruno Fernandes got 3 goals and 4 assists, if I'm right. But Solskjaer's looking for someone to partner up with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. Bruno Fernandes, by the way, has got a 5.5-year deal at Manchester United. Also, recently Paul Scholes credited him. But yeah, I've also been very, very impressed with Odion Ighalo. I've been very, very impressed with him. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Odion Ighalo's got 4 goals in 3 starts. It's not assured that we're going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. It's not assured that we're going to get him on a permanent transfer. Because Odion Ighalo said, was it earlier on this week, or was it last week, if I remember rightly, he said, he hasn't received any offer yet from Manchester United to extend his stay at the football club. Now, Solskjaer did make an admission saying, it's likely, that we will decide to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer, and it will cost us around £15 million to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. But that is a cheap solution. If Odion Ighalo had been 4 or 5 years younger, then probably, it would have cost us a lot more than £15 million. But maybe, we won't get him on a permanent transfer. Maybe we won't. His parent club, Shanghai Shenhua, they came out the other week, and they actually offered him around £400,000 a week, plus a 2-year contract extension to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Man United. But yeah, we've got him on loan at the moment. His current loan expires with the football club on the 31st of May. He did say it's likely that we'll extend his loan until the 30th of June due to the coronavirus pandemic. But I've got to say, Ighalo is a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. So that's one thing I've definitely got to say. But yeah, so a lot of players, have improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's guidance, which is very, very good to see. But, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer he's already revealed his plans, for when the transfer market reopens. Don't forget what he recently said, he insists we will exploit the transfer market when the transfer window does reopen. So Solskjaer, he does believe, that we can get the right calibre players in when the transfer window reopens, because he knows that a lot of teams are under financial pressure. Reflects on the coronavirus crisis, and he knows that teams will have to offload quite a few of their players. So he's got a lot of confidence, going into the transfer market when he does reopen, reflecting on our strong financial position. But, Solskjaer does want to make around 4 signings when the transfer window does reopen, because Solskjaer believes that we need around 4 signings, to become title contenders next season. He believes we need around 4 signings, yeah. But I think there's a total of 12, 13 players on our agenda, but Solskjaer wants to sign at least 4. As you all know, our transfer budget's already been revealed. Solskjaer is going to be given £150 million to spend when the transfer window does reopen. Obviously, we're going to sell players, so our transfer budget will increase. Solskjaer, I think, is planning to get rid of around 5, maybe 6 players in the summer transfer window. Yes, he is in that. But obviously, Solskjaer's got the backing of Ed Woodward, and he's also got the backing of the Glazers, which is very, very good. There's still quite a lot of our players that are determined to back him. But as you all know, Solskjaer, still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. And I think a lot of people are excited about his transfer strategy. But as you all know, Solskjaer's identified the areas, where he wants to strengthen up. Solskjaer said he wants to recommend the centre forward in. He also wants to recommend the right winger in. He also wants to recommend a midfielder in. And I think, he wants to recommend the centre half in, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, yeah, so he's identified the areas where he thinks Manchester United do need to strengthen up and that. And I think he agreed this with Mike Phelan back in September. But yeah, so obviously, Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager. When the transfer window reopens, it will be his 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Because so far, Solskjaer's, he's done transfer business at the club. He's enjoyed 3 transfer windows. Didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window. But in the 2 previous windows, he has recruited 5 players in and spent around £220 million. And, Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now almost 16 months. So he has been at the football club over the year. He has been here over the year. And like I said, I think Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, because he is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. Like I said to Solskjaer's inheriting players, from what other... He's inheriting players, what other managers, brought in. Analysing the vast majority of this team, it's Jose Mourinho's. Because Jose Mourinho, don't forget, recruited 11 players into the football club, and there's still 9 of those players here from the Jose Mourinho era and that. There's still a couple of players here from the Louis van Gaal era, but not many. Like I said to Louis van Gaal recruited a hell of a lot of players in. A hell of a lot he recruited in, did Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal brought players like Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Daley Blind, Di Maria. Yeah, Louis van Gaal, Depay, yeah. Louis van Gaal recruited a hell of a lot of players in, but, he also got rid of a lot of players. I think he got rid of 20-odd players, didn't he? He got rid of a lot of the players that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. Um, Obviously, Moyes, he only recruited 2 players in, did Moyes. He obviously, brought Fellaini in, who's no longer here now. We paid over £27 million for Fellaini. He enjoyed 6 years at Man United, and of course, he recommended Juan Mata in, and we paid £40 million for him from Chelsea. And he's still here, and he's now into his 6th season at Manchester United. Is Juan Mata. I think there's only now Jones and De Gea here from the Alex Ferguson era. So there's only 5 players that are Solskjaer so far. But yeah, he needs at least a couple more transfer windows because, like I said, it is a transition period. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But, like I said, I think, Solskjaer should follow Alex Ferguson's method and, build the next great Manchester United team. I don't think Solskjaer, will replicate Alex Ferguson's legacy. But there again, I don't think any manager, will replicate Alex Ferguson's legacy. Obviously, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club when we recommended him in from Aberdeen, and there was our board negotiating about, the possibility of sacking him and that, and he was 1 game away from getting the sack. But he didn't. Then look what he went and accomplished. We won the vast majority of our silverware under Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest managers of all time. And like I said, let's put Jurgen Klopp into the equation. He didn't settle in straight away, at Liverpool. So it does take some managers' time. But since Ferguson retired back in 2013, Man United have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. We've had different managers with different philosophies. Over 30-odd players have been brought in, to the club, since Ferguson retired, and nearly £1 billion has been spent at Manchester United and that. So yeah, we have been playing catch up for several years. We've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson retired, and that was the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under the Jose Mourinho era. And as it stands at the moment, we haven't won any silverware under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But, when the football season does eventually resume, these are transfers getting some silverware on the board. Because, we are into the Europa League last 8. We're also into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. As it stands at the moment, we are sitting 5th in the Premier League. We are just 3 points behind Chelsea. But I'm very, very convinced that we can get qualification for the Champions League. If we get qualification for the Champions League, then I definitely do believe we can get the players that we do want in when the transfer window does reopen. But we've been in a good vein of form. We was in a good vein of form before the season got suspended because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. So let's just put that into the equation. Let's just put that into the equation now. So yeah, but he does need more time, and I've already gone through with you. I think the players that Solskjaer is going to get rid of. He's going to get rid of around 5 or 6 players. I think Jones will go. I think Pereira will go. Lingard will go. We'll probably negotiate on getting rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer. Smalling possibly could come back to Man United, but we'll probably try and get rid of him permanently. Obviously, we know now Sanchez is staying. That was according to recent reports. But yeah, we'll definitely get rid of players. Delve into a bit of the transfer news now. Let's talk about Harry Kane. Like I've been giving you an update of what's been going on with Harry Kane on a regular basis. So, do you think Harry Kane is worth £200 million? Do you think he's worth £200 million? Now, obviously, Tottenham have confirmed that they are willing, to sell Harry Kane in the summer, providing that their asking price is met. Tottenham have said they want a world record fee of £200 million, and this is what, Daniel Levy has said. But basically, Harry Kane has been offered to Manchester United. Now, I don't think, Manchester United should pay up to £200 million for him. Because, like I said to you before, there is much cheaper solutions than Harry Kane. Like I said, Werner's a cheaper solution than Kane. Erling Haaland's a cheaper solution than Kane. And they are, of course, other strikers on our agenda. But I think we've been in for Kane for the last, 4 or 5 years or so. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Kane would be a good sign if we could get him in, and he would be a great addition to the squad. Neville, give his verdict on it. He thinks Kane would be a good signing for Man United. Danny Murphy said we should go all out to sign Kane. Roy Keane said, we should go out and sign him after our 1-1 draw with Liverpool earlier on in the season. And, Harry Kane fueled speculation up last month because he made an admission and he did say that he could decide, to leave Tottenham if he feels as though the team are not progressing. And he did say he will not stay at Tottenham for the sake of it. Harry Kane has revealed his ambition, and his ambition is to win some silverware. And he hasn't experienced this so far with Tottenham, and he's been at Tottenham for several years. He's been in their senior squad since 2011. But there's not only been Man United in for him, there's been Madrid in for him. Don't forget, Madrid have done business with Tottenham in the past. Madrid got Bale and Luka Modric off Tottenham. I think, Juventus have been in for him, and also too, Man City have been in for him. But I don't think we should pay £200 million for Harry Kane. Like I said, we've done business with Tottenham in the past. We got Berbatov off them. We also, got Michael Carrick off them. I've got an element of concern about Harry Kane as well. He is injury prone. He's Harry Kane, very injury prone. Obviously, he's been out of a hamstring injury since New Year's Day. As Harry Kane, he's still got 4 years remaining on his contract with Tottenham. He's got a contract with them until 2024 and that. So would you take him at Manchester United now? Obviously, Sky Sports came out yesterday and said Tottenham have got no intentions of selling Harry Kane to, Manchester United or any other Premier League rival. But yeah, so do you think Manchester United should pay £200 million for him? There's obviously alternatives to Harry Kane as well. I think, we should just sign Jadon Sancho. I think it's likely we're going to sign Jadon Sancho because we haven't actually, had an actual winner since, we had Wilfried Zaha. And Wilfried Zaha was actually, Alex Ferguson's last signing. But Wilfried Zaha enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Man United anyway because he didn't really get many opportunities in that. But yeah, there's so many players on our agenda. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.